Part 28. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 271. The BB machine on the bedside table rang. It was Lu Yun. Lu Ligan used the phone on the bedside table to call back. Lu Yun asked him, "Where have you been these 2 days?" Lu Ligan said that he was still busy with license matters. Last night, he invited business people to dinner and drank a lot of wine. His head still hurts. Lu Yun said oh and asked with concern, "Is it important?" "It's okay. Just sleep a little longer and you'll be fine after the drunkenness wears off. No matter how busy you are, you have to take care of yourself, got it?" "Oh, I see." Lu Ligan turned on the TV and smoked while watching TV. CCTV was still showing pictures of the floods in East China. Anhui and Jiangxi were fighting floods. Zhejiang was not greatly affected, but in the picture, primary and secondary school students from Hangzhou appeared. In the context of donations. Only then did Lu Ligan remember that he had been passing by DC City every day these days and saw someone soliciting donations in the small square in front of him. He didn't know what was going on. It turned out to be this. Lu Ligan decided that he would go there later. Donate some. After watching BBC and CNN for a long time, Lu Ligan could only understand 3 things. One was that Germany was preparing to move the capital from Bonn to Berlin, and the other was that the Yugoslav civil war was still going on. Lu Ligan thought, what if Walter's still here, whose side will he be on? In Lu Ligan's impression, he always felt that Russia was the Soviet Union and the Soviet Union was Russia. It was just because after the October Revolution, Russia became the Soviet Union. Tolstoy and Turgenev were Russian writers, Gorky and Mayakov. Ski is a Soviet writer. But aren't they all writers from the same country? Just like Li Bai was a poet of the Tang dynasty, Sudongpo was a poet of the Song dynasty, and I, Lu Ligan, am a poet today, but are they all Chinese poets? It was so chaotic that Lu Ligan simply turned off the TV and ignored him. He should take care of himself and care about his license and when he could get it. The room was very quiet, so quiet that he could hear the guests next door. He closed the door, walked through the corridor at the door, and walked towards the elevator. No matter how busy you are, you must take good care of yourself. Lu Ligan thought of Lu Yun's words, and felt a little pain in his heart. This pain was for Lu Yun, and he also hated himself. They said that there is no grass anywhere in the world, but here he is. At the end of the world, everything he encounters is really just grass, and it's not worth it. He feels that these good girls don't deserve to be so kind to him. But for him to control himself and not get close to them, Lu Ligan felt that he couldn't do it. If he couldn't do it, he couldn't do it. I'm such a selfish bastard. When he was with Lu Yun, he felt that he was normal, a normal relationship, a normal love, seeing the sunshine. When he was with Huang Mei, Wen Wen, and Qian Qian, Lu Ligan himself knew that their relationship was distorted. Yes, there will be no future. This Huang Mei is willing to be with you. Can you afford to support her? Your monthly income is not enough for her to have a meal. Is it because they feel that their relationship has no future, so there is a feeling of carpe diem? Both parties are very relaxed and don't care about what will happen tomorrow, as long as they are happy now. Lu Ligan and Huang Mei are together sometimes, there is a very comfortable feeling. This comfortable feeling can be addictive. He was very familiar with her, he was familiar with her every frown and every inch of her skin, but they were strangers at the same time. He didn't know where she came from or where she would go. As he said, he didn't even know her. I don't know what her name is, and like she said, it's fine. Lu Ligan may also think this is good. He doesn't know. He will feel a little uneasy. He feels that it is very likely that she will disappear suddenly just like she suddenly enters his sight, leaving him with only dreams and longing. She is not Lu Yun. No matter what time, he knows where she is and what she is doing. Even if she rushes in the middle of the night, she will definitely be in the room. She is not even Tan Shahen. Even if Tan Shahen has kicked him, he will still I know with certainty what she is like now. Every morning, no matter where she is, she will always get up, babbling and hoisting her voice. As long as you think about it, you can hear her voice even though you are thousands of miles away. You can feel sad or smile in this voice. You can turn over in this voice and continue to sleep. As for Huang Mei, he knew who she was when they were together. When she left completely without taking a single cloud with her. Lu Ligan looked at the time. It was already 9 o'clock. He got up from the bed, washed up, took the breakfast coupon to the second floor to have breakfast, and then went downstairs. When he passed Wanghai Tower, he did not go in, but walked over and kept walking. When I arrived at the gate of DC City, I saw that there were still people collecting donations there, so I walked over, took out my wallet from my pocket, took out 500 yuan, and handed it to the staff. The staff was stunned for a moment. This kind of street fundraising usually costs a few yuan or dozens of yuan. They are stuffed into a red donation box and left. There are very few even 100 yuan, let alone Lu Ligan's 500 yuan. The staff pulled Lu Ligan and asked him for his name, but Lu Ligan quickly ran away from there. Lu Ligan arrived at Zhang Chen's office, and Zhang Chen asked him how the reception went. Lu Ligan told him that the expected goal had been achieved, and now he had to start a tough battle to win the pockmark. It was easy to win the pockmark, just throw money. After the two of them had said a few words, the BB machine in Lu Li's waist rang. He turned around and saw that it was a company in the Sanli building. He was asked to come over and said he had business to discuss. Okay, my job is here, I'm going to finish my job. Lu Ligan stood up and told Zhang Chen that although he had not swept the building for more than a week, Lu Ligan suddenly felt that the job was far away from him. If someone hadn't detained him, he would have forgotten that he still had a job. As for work, it seems that Longja building is his unit, and running the industrial and commercial bureau is his job, not promoting advertising business. As soon as Lu Ligan walked to the door, the BB machine in his waist rang again. Zhang Chen laughed. Lu Ligan came back and called back. The other party said he was from the Post and Telecommunications Bureau and wanted to install the phone for him and asked him where he was in the company. Anyone? Lu Ligan quickly told them that when they arrived at Longja building, they should first go to Li Yang's office to find Li Yang, and he would take you up. After hanging up the phone, Lu Ligan called Li Yang again and told him that the Post and Telecommunications office was coming to install the phone. Li Yang told him that he understood. Fortunately, he left a company key with Li Yang. When Lu Ligan was on the phone, Zhang Chen looked at him and kept smiling. When he finished the call, Zhang Chen said, "Mr. Lu is very busy, and reporter Lu is also very busy." "Yeah, but Mr. Lu feels very good, and reporter Lu feels very good too. If he stays so busy, this poor man will have to stand up," Lu Ligan said. "By the way, Zhang Chen, there is a fundraiser in front of DC City. The floods in East China, don't you want to contribute a little? It goes without saying that our company, myself, and every worker below have donated money. How long has it been since then, and you only know now?" Lu Ligan chuckled. "Have I never returned to the newspaper office? If I were to report back to the newspaper office, they must also be doing fundraising." After going out, Lu Ligan himself felt strange. He was so busy and running on the streets every day. Why did he still feel isolated from the world? Even such a big thing as the flood in East China was an afterthought. Lu Ligan went to Sanli building and found the company. Coincidentally, it was also a real estate company. Standing at the door, Lu Ligan confirmed that he had never been to this company before. It turned out that this company should be a shipping agency. When did it become a real estate company? Walking in, the office furniture inside was all old, and it was still the same as the original company. They used to have more than a dozen people, but today they didn't see any of them. There was only one person in the 40 or 50 square meter office, Lou Ligon. When he entered, he was sweeping the floor with a broom. The other party also saw Lou Ligon, straightened up and asked, "Are you reporter Lou?" Lou Ligon quickly said yes, and the other party came over and shook hands warmly. After sitting down, Lou Ligon realized that this office was sublet from the shipping agency, and Lou Ligon's phone number was also they gave it. The other party's surname was Meng, and his name was Meng Ping. Meng Ping and Lou Ligon said, "I am now the general manager, accountant, office director, and handyman here, all of them are mine. I am not looking for you, I am just looking for a clerk and accountant." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 272. Now, is there any business in real estate? Lou Ligon asked this, feeling a little envious in his heart. He thought that the person in front of him was a pioneer. At least he had broken out of the army of license applicants, and now he could recruit talents at his fingertips. Whatever, if you have business or not, let's set up the rack first. Then don't we also need a millstone for grinding tofu? Meng Ping smiled. Lou Ligon nodded, and he told Meng Ping, if you only recruit 2 people, then there is no need to advertise at all. We will advertise in the newspaper, and you will need at least 300 yuan. Go to the East Lake recruitment wall and post a recruitment advertisement. It also costs 100 yuan. To recruit 2 people, you don't have to spend any money. You can just hand out business cards on the spot. The company has just started, so you can save whatever you can. Meng Ping was confused by Lou Ligon. He had only been in Hainan Island for a week, and he just wanted to set up a company. He didn't know about the East Lake recruitment wall. Also, you can recruit people by just sending a business card. What is the operation of this? Besides, you are an interesting person. If I come to you to discuss business, it would be better for you to push the business outside. In this way, can you earn porridge money every month? Lou Ligon smiled and asked, do you have your business card? Of course, the troops and horses have not been moved yet, food and grass go first. We have just rented this place and have a phone. Haha, the first thing is to print business cards. Did you get your license? I haven't done it yet. No, let's recruit people first. After recruiting people, let her do it. I went there that day and asked about the whole process. At the Industrial and Commercial Bureau, there were queues everywhere. It is estimated that it will be a protracted battle. The clerks are in place. Let her deal with it specifically. Lou Ligon was surprised. He didn't expect anyone to do this. They didn't even have a license yet, so they just printed business cards to recruit people. What if the company on your business card couldn't use it? It's simple. Just change it. It's just a matter of changing a box of business cards, Meng Ping said with a smile. Lou Ligon understood why he wanted to rent this place. Although there was no license here, the phone was readily available, which would not delay his business discussions. Lou Ligon believed that this was a guy who was very aggressive and could act boldly when necessary. I liked it immediately. Do you have time now? Lou Ligon asked. Yes, I belong to myself 100% now. Lou Ligon said, okay, bring your business card, and I will take you to the East Lake recruitment wall. When you get there, you say you are recruiting people, and many people will come around. You tell them your requirements. If you are willing to come, you give them your business card. Just ask them to come here for the interview in the afternoon. So simple. Of course, you are not going on a blind date, how complicated it would be. Besides, it is a blind date, and there is love at first sight. Meng Ping laughed and said yes, Seniors will give you more advice. Am I that old? Lu Ligan said with a smile. You seem to be a few years older than me. Well, regardless of age, if you have a longer island citizenship than me, you are the senior. That's true. The two of them laughed and went downstairs, and sat on the back seat of Lu Ligan's motorcycle. Meng Ping said again, look, you are already riding the motorcycle, and I am still on the 11th road. I am the senior after all. Lu Ligan asked curiously, where do you live? Walk to work every day? If you live in the company, you can just use a straw mat on the floor at night and a few books as pillows. Why waste money on renting a house? Meng Ping said, I want to live there, and I will build it myself in the future in the house. Good, you have courage, Lu Ligan praised. The two of them arrived at the East Lake recruitment wall. It was the same place as when Lu Ligan and the others arrived a year ago. Although the sun was shining brightly at noon, the place was crowded, which made Lu Ligan feel that the water in this spring river should be warm. Meng Ping stood there and called out, we are recruiting accountants and clerks. Many people gathered around in a buzz, and Meng Ping shouted again, only women. Half of the people cursed and dispersed, leaving a large group of women surrounding Meng Ping, who became a little green among the flowers. Lu Ligan stood outside the crowd, feeling quite emotional in his heart. This was how Jin Lily was recruited at the beginning. Unexpectedly, she seemed to be gone completely after leaving. Could there be Jin Lily among these people today? A security guard saw something going on here and hurried over. Lu Ligan saw him and waved his hand. The security guard approached and asked, Director Lu, do you know him? Right. Are you humming eating everything inside? Lu Ligan smiled, took out his cigarettes, gave one to the other party, and one to himself. They both lit it. Lu Ligan took a puff of cigarette, and then said to the security guard, friends, just recruit 2 people, don't do it, there's such a big movement. The security guard nodded. How is it here? Compared with last year, are there more people? It seems there are more. I heard from them that the sales volume of newspapers has gone up now, right? Yes, I estimate that your bonus this month will be a little more than last month. Lu Ligan smiled. That's great, the security guard also laughed. Meng Ping's face was covered with sweat, and his face was flushed by the sun and the enthusiasm of the women. He walked to the two of them, and Lu Ligan asked, how is it? Okay, there are a few people who fall in love at first sight. Lu Ligan laughed loudly. The security guard looked at them and didn't know what they were talking about. This is a recruitment place. What's love at first sight? Are you here to play hooligans? Lu Ligan patted the security guard on the shoulder, gave him another cigarette, and said to him, let's go, thank you. The two of them walked to the motorcycle. Meng Ping looked at his watch and said to Lu Ligan, no, you buddy, I must treat you to dinner today. Lu Ligan smiled and said, why, you must eat up the money you saved. We are poor now and can't afford a big meal. Even fast food, we have to pay for it, Meng Ping said. Okay, I'll take you there. Lu Ligan said, you treat me to pig's trotter rice. The first meal I had on the island was here. Okay, that makes so much sense. Lu Ligan took Meng Ping to the pig's trotter restaurant. The business here was still as good as before. There were no seats. The two of them carried stainless steel bowls for rice and vegetables. They went to the motorcycle and put the dishes on. One person sat on the motorcycle seat, holding a rice bowl in his hand, and started eating. Not bad, these pig's feet, Meng Ping shouted. What's good? You have no fat in your stomach, right? Lu Ligan thought that his first meal was what Zhang Chen and the others brought to him in Hiken Park at that time. He was amazed when he took the first bite. Later, he would always thinking of that delicious food. I was tempted to come here. However, after I came here a few times, I felt that no matter how much I ate, it was not as enjoyable as the first time I ate it. So the visits became less and less. After all, neither he nor Zhang Chen had come to eat the pig's trotter rice for several months. Today, he was here and saw the scene a year ago again, which triggered his emotions and teased him. The taste buds came to mind again. Of course the taste was still good, but the expression was not as exaggerated as Meng Ping. By the way, how much money did you bring to Heiken to start a real estate company? Lu Ligan felt that Meng Ping was not a stingy person and could ask such a sensitive topic. Meng Ping raised a finger with the hand holding the chopsticks. 10 million. Meng Ping shook his head while eating. 100 million. Meng Ping laughed and almost spit out his rice. He quickly pursed his lips and curled his upright finger downwards, meaning to guess. 1 million. Meng Ping still shook his head. No way, Lu Ligan was curious and asked, 100,000. Meng Ping nodded. Lu Ligan almost spit out his rice at this moment. This bastard dared to come to Hainan to set up a real estate company with 100,000 yuan. Once the office rent is paid, this guy probably doesn't have much money in his pocket. No wonder he only has 100,000 yuan. I can lay the ground floor, but I can only treat myself to fast food. That's not right. You can't even register a company with 100,000 yuan. To register a company, the minimum registered capital is 500,000 yuan, Lu Ligan said. Meng Ping swallowed a mouthful of rice and said to him, it doesn't matter. I have already agreed with my friend that he will lend me 500,000 yuan to register a company. After registration, I will return it to him. It's okay, but he won't even accept the interest to accept it, saying it's just a favor. Lu Ligan thought to himself that he was much luckier than him. With a big tree like Sun Ho and the others, he didn't have to worry about the registered capital or the office. The upfront cost alone was only 250,000 yuan. Damn it, if you still can't handle it, do you still have the nerve to act like this? You're like this, why the hell are you recruiting people? Lu Ligan scolded, they've only been following you for 2 months, and you can't even pay the damn salary, right? What does that matter? Meng Ping said, if I don't have money, I can talk about my dreams with them. I can also give them options. There are many ways to keep them. Lu Li laughed loudly, damn it, that's just a blank check. Yeah, so what if I have a blank check, as long as I have the ability to realize it, Meng Ping said nonchalantly. Damn you, you are so fierce. Lu Ligan cursed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 273. Lu Ligan and Meng Ping finished their meal and returned to Meng Ping's company. When they arrived at the door, they saw 3 or 4 people already waiting for the interview in the corridor. Although Meng Ping told them it was after 3 o'clock, now it was less than 2 o'clock, but they still came here early. Lu Ligan understood their behavior. He did the same when he went for the interview. Lu Ligan and Meng Ping said, you are busy, I will leave first, we will find time to get together again. Lu Ligan left Meng Ping's place and first went to 2 other companies in Sanli building to see his old friends. The old friends were all taking a nap. Seeing Lu Ligan, he reluctantly cheered up. Lu Ligan told them that it was okay. He just came to disturb your sleep, and the other party scolded him, get out. Lu Ligan laughed loudly, and said, I have achieved my goal. If you don't tell me, I will get out. Lu Ligan knew that these 2 people were familiar enough that he wouldn't be really angry if he disturbed them. He took a look at them just to remind him that if something good happens, don't forget your brothers. Lu Ligan looked at the time and saw that it was already past 2 o'clock. Then he went to the building next to Sanli building, signed a contract, and then returned to Zhang Chen. Lu Ligan told Zhang Chen about Meng Ping, and Zhang Chen said this person was also very interested, and he said yes, let's get together when we have time. Lu Ligan stood up and told Zhang Chen, give me some strength, I'm going to attack the enemy. Zhang Chen smiled and said, doesn't the RMB give you strength? If you still have the RMB, go ahead boldly. When Lu Ligan arrived at the Industrial and Commercial Bureau, he was a little hesitant when he walked into the first floor. There was one thing that gave him a headache. He couldn't figure it out all the time. Chief Ma's office is at the end of the corridor on the third floor. From the stairs to Chief Ma's, must pass through Xiao Zanbo's office. Xiao Zanbo is the person he least wants to see now. If he sees him, he has to say hello to him and have to go into his office. What scares Lu Ligan the most is that if Xiao Zanbo mistakenly thinks that he is here to see him, it would be embarrassing for him, especially if he mistakenly thought that he was here to deepen friendship and invited him to dinner. Lu Ligan couldn't tell him that he was here to see Chief Ma today. He didn't know how much Xiao Zanbo still remembered the bragging he had with Lu Ligan yesterday. Would he think that I had already promised you so much? Why the hell are you still looking for Lao Ma? Do you not treat me as a brother, but just treat me like a piece of shit? That's going to be humming bad again. Lu Ligan walked back and forth in the corridor on the first floor. He found that there were 2 stairs in this building, and there was another one at the end of the corridor. Going up this staircase was right next to Chief Ma's office, but this one the stairs are equipped with iron gates and locks, which are obviously not used at all. There was no choice but to go up the only staircase. Lu Ligan arrived at the 3rd floor and stood at the entrance of the stairs, deep in thought. He thought he must have just walked in. After a minute or so, he quickly passed through Xiao Zanbo's door. At that time, he must have been talking to the person who entered. Focus on the person doing the work. But that's it, because when Xiao Zanbo is talking to someone, he is facing the door, and you can't guarantee that he won't see you passing by the door. If he sees you and screams, how can you deal with it? Lu Ligan thought for a while, and he felt that Xiao Zanbo, who went in with the pre-approval letter of company registration name in his hand, spent more time talking to him and less time looking down at the materials. It was just 2 pages, clearly visible at a glance, and there was nothing to read. If he came to hand in materials, Xiao Zanbo would have to spend most of his energy looking down at the materials when he entered. At that time, he would not notice when he passed by the door. Lu Ligan decided to go to the door of enterprise registration, to find a person holding a thick stack of materials in his hand, wait for him to enter for a minute, and then pass through Xiao Zanbo's door. Someone slapped Lu Lizan on the shoulder. Lu Lizan shuddered. When he turned around, his heart felt cold. It was over, he was dead. He saw Yang Wulai standing behind him. Come to their cage. What a coincidence, Lu Ligan smiled reluctantly. What a coincidence, this is my unit and I work here. Lu Ligan was speechless and could only smile. He felt like his head was going to explode. Are you here to see Lao Ma? Yang Wulai asked. Before Lu Ligan could think about whether he should answer yes or no, his head refused to obey and he already nodded. I knew it, Yang Wulai smiled. Xiao Huang asked me so many questions about Lao Ma yesterday, he must be here. Yang Wulai stopped talking, and Lu Ligan was greatly embarrassed. It seemed that the female spy had been discovered. Lu Ligan did not dare to tell her otherwise. Otherwise, others would think you were too hypocritical, and they would not dare to lie to her. Say that you are here to see Xiao Zanbo, and they will take you directly to Xiao Zanbo's office. Do you know Lao Ma? Yang Wulai asked. Lu Ligan shook his head. Let's go, I'll take you there, he's here now. Yang Wulai said that Lu Ligan was so happy that he followed Yang Wulai. Even if Xiao Zanbo saw it, he couldn't say anything. It was certainly not more appropriate for Yang Wulai to explain some things himself. Lu Ligan quickly said thank you. The 2 people walked along the corridor and headed inside. When they passed the enterprise registration, too, Luligan took a peek and saw that there was no one inside. The people lining up at the door were muttering, "Where the hell did this person go? It's so irresponsible that so many people line up here." Yang Walai glared at the grumbling man and shouted, "Just wait and don't be verbose." After walking over, Yang Walai and Luligan smiled and said, "I will take over his class today, and your good brother can't even get up." It turned out that his worries were in vain. Luligan secretly breathed a sigh of relief and said, "I didn't wake up until the end of my sleep. I was so dizzy." Yang Walai looked at him, "Really? You seem to be in good spirits." "Then," she said to Luligan meaningfully, "then what should I do if you want to drink at night?" After a pause, he added, "Lao Ma has a good drinking capacity." She spat out each sentence one by one. Each sentence was meaningless when listened to separately, but when put together, it was interesting. Luligan almost laughed. Yang Walai took Luligan into Chief Ma's office. Chief Ma was holding a fly swatter and chasing a fly. When he saw them coming in, he threw the fly swatter on the table and cursed, "Where, so many flies?" Ma K is not tall, about 1.6 meters tall, but he is very strong and has dark skin. From a distance, you can't see anything special about his face. Only when you get closer can you see that his face is full of pits. They are indeed all pockmarked. Yang Walai smiled and said, "Master, these flies must have come smelling of alcohol." Section Chief Ma snorted, sat back behind his desk, and looked at Luligan up and down. Yang Walai quickly said, "Master, this is my friend. He has a license and he can apply for it here." Section Chief Ma snorted again and waved to Yang Walai. Yang Walai and Luligan said, "I'll leave first. There's still a queue at my place. You talk to my master." Luligan said thank you. Yang Walai walked out, but Section Chief Ma still looked Luligan up and down. Luligan was standing in front of his desk. There was a chair next to him, but he didn't say hello. He was embarrassed to sit down and felt numb. The section chief felt hairy all over. Section Chief Ma seemed to have seen enough. He hummed again and said impatiently, "Sit down, why are you standing?" Luligan quickly said thank you and sat down. "Which company are you from?" Section Chief Ma asked. "Hainan Jinghai Real Estate Co., Limited." Section Chief Ma took out a large pile of materials from a basket next to his desk and slammed it on the table. The fly swatter jumped so hard that it almost hit Luligan in the face. "When will all the materials be submitted?" "The day before yesterday." "Oh no, the day before yesterday." Section Chief Ma snorted again, and Luligan finally understood that his snort should have no emotional color and was just a habit of his. He glanced at Luligan and seemed to mean, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" "But damn, you didn't even ask," Luligan cursed in his mind. He picked up the pile of materials and threw it back into the basket with a bang. Then he took out a large pile of materials from the basket on the side and smashed it on the table. Between the two baskets, there was a pile of materials standing against the wall. Luligan didn't understand. Damn it, these pair of baskets, were they still being carried around? He also didn't expect that the materials he had worked so hard and regarded as treasures would be treated so lowly when they arrived here. They were just one item in a basket. Damn, if he didn't hurry up, who knows who the hemp section chief is. When you wake up from the wine, will you remember to take it out of the basket? What Luligan didn't expect was that they really had to carry baskets here. Of course, it wasn't the Chief Ma who carried the baskets. After the Chief Ma read and signed, someone would come and carry the two baskets. Climb the stairs to the fourth floor and ask the director to sign. After the director signs, he climbs the stairs again and picks the items to the fifth floor, asks the director to sign them, and then picks them down again. The reason why it takes a long time is because the chief of the hemp section has to sign two baskets before asking someone to pick them away. The same goes for the director and director. If something happens in the middle, if there is a delay, the baskets will be left behind. Yeah, it's normal for this to last for a week or two. Unless Chief Ma specially picks you out of the basket, puts it together with several other materials that need to be taken care of, and asks someone to go to the 4th floor first and then the 5th floor, then it will be very fast, within an hour. That's it for the process. Of course Lu Ligan would not know this. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 274. Chief Ma finally found the information about Hainan Jinghai Real Estate Co., Limited from the large pile of materials. He snorted, pulled out the materials, threw them aside, and threw the large pile of materials with a bang. Return to the basket. Sitting down again, Section Chief Ma asked Lu Ligan while flipping through the materials, "What's your name?" Lu Lipol. Section Chief Ma took a look at the materials and said, "Are you a shareholder of this company?" "Yep. The registered capital is 50 million, which is not small. It is already in place." "Is it borrowed?" "No, it's not, Chief Ma, this is our shareholders' own funds." Chief Ma looked at the name of the major shareholder again and understood. He closed the document, put it aside, and said to Lu Ligan, "There are many people registering companies now, and we also have other jobs here, so, the approval time may be longer than usual, so be patient. You really don't give face, even if it is brought by your own apprentice, you will still be given a soft nail." Lu Ligan thought. "I know that Section Chief Ma is very busy, so I came to see Section Chief Ma because I just wanted to invite him." Chief Ma played the material with his fingers and interrupted Lu Ligan, "This is a big deal, but don't worry, I will take a good look at it as soon as I have time. However, you also know that such a big industrial and commercial bureau, I'm not the only one who has passed this test, there are still other departments and bureaus that I have to pass, but don't worry, every one of us will take it seriously." Lu Ligan felt clear in his heart, "What the hell, I'm telling you, just wait patiently until the year of the monkey and the month of the horse." Lu Ligan quickly laughed and said, "Yes, I know that the leaders are very busy and work very hard. By the way, does Section Chief Ma have time in the evening?" Chief Ma glanced at him and snorted, "What are you going to do?" "If I have time, I'd like to invite Section Chief Ma to have dinner with me." "I know, sugar-coated bullets," Section Chief Ma snorted, "you want to use sugar-coated bullets against me, right?" Lu Ligan quickly laughed, "Chief Ma is serious. For someone as upright as Section Ma, don't talk about sugar-coated bombs. Even if I use sugar-coated atomic bombs, it will be useless. This matter is in charge. It is a public matter anyway. Just wait and see, just wait, what's the big deal, I just want to make friends with the section chief, and ask the section chief to reward me." Section Chief Ma glanced at him, snorted, and finally smiled a little, saying, "Young man, you can't tell, but he's still a slippery man, and he's quite good at talking. It's a little trick that can't escape the eyes of Section Chief Ma. I just want to make friends with the section chief too urgently. Section Chief, please give me a favor." Lu Ligan clasped his hands and asked. "Actually, I quite like dealing with you young people." Section Chief Ma pondered for a while, and then said, "Okay, it's commonplace, don't make so many tricks, there are too many tricks, don't blame me for turning against you, even if you are Wei Li's friend." "Okay, definitely, it's settled, tonight at 7 o'clock, the 3rd floor of Nance Huang, box 818. Section Chief Ma snorted and did not comment. Lu Ligan was cursing in his mind, "Why are you pretending to be a big-tailed wolf? Damn you, Nance Huang Hobeo, the minimum consumption is 8,888, don't you know there is no homely food there? Do you have that business card?" Section Chief Ma asked. "Yes, yes." Lu Ligan quickly took out the business card of Talent Information News and handed it to him. Section Chief Ma took it in his hand and hummed again, he is still a reporter. Fake, fake, fake reporter, from the advertising department. In fact, he is just selling ads. Lou Ligon was afraid that the other party would think too much, so he quickly explained, no, it's hard to sell ads now, and I can hardly support myself. Just try to find another way out. Get another one. Lou Ligon didn't understand what he was going to do, but he quickly took a business card and handed it over. Section Chief Ma wrote his BB phone number and office phone number on the back of the business card, and gave it back to Lou Ligon. At that time, business cards were still strictly controlled in government agencies. Section-level codders like Section Chief Ma were not yet qualified to print business cards. Lou Ligon took the business card from Chief Ma and asked him, Chief Ma, what time will I pick you up at the door? No need, I'll go there myself. Okay, then I will wait for Section Chief Ma at the gate of Nance Huang. Section Chief Ma snorted and turned to look at other documents on the table. Lou Ligon quickly stood up and left. Chief Ma didn't even raise his head and just waved his hand. Lou Ligon came out of Chief Ma's office and walked in after passing the enterprise registration, too. Yang Wilai saw him and asked, is it done? Lou Lepole nodded. Sister Wei Li, will you and Brother Bo go together tonight? Lou Ligon said. What are we going to do? Yang Wilai frowned and kept shaking her head, I can't bear to eat this meal. After saying that, Yang Wilai laughed. Lou Ligon didn't understand what was so funny about this. Yang Wilai said, it's okay. You can go. I'll go back later to take care of your good brother. Every time he drinks too much, he has to pretend to be dead for several days. By the way, he is like this when he drinks too much, so don't mind. No way, Brother Bo is really serious. Haha, okay, true character. If you were me, you would know how annoying this true character is. By the way, the minions are pretty good. You have to cherish them. Lou Ligon smiled, waved his hand, and came out of Yang Wilai. He was thinking, yes, she is very good, but it's a pity that he doesn't know who she is. Before Lou Ligon came, he had asked Li Yong to book the private room in Nance Huang. Lou Ligon asked Li Yong and Qiang to go there in the evening. Li Yong told him, Gangzi, don't call anyone for this kind of game, the other party will mind. Lou Ligon thought about it, and it made sense. Lou Ligon rode his motorcycle back to Yilin's house. Wen Wen and Qian were still sleeping and hadn't gotten up. Lou Ligon woke them up and told them to help me book a box at Daowen Hotel for the night. The small bag was enough. Also, you two, don't take orders tonight, just serve in my private room. You humming want us to do money-losing business again, Wen Wen scolded. No, no, this is business, so I'll give you your tip as usual, plus midnight snacks. Wen Wen smiled and said, that's pretty much it. This matter is of great importance. You must help me serve me well, Lou Ligon confessed. Qian scolded, when did we fail to serve your guests well? When you are losing money, we are more concerned about making money than making money. Lou Ligon smiled and said, that's right. Okay, brother, remember it? When I get rich. Qian stood up and shouted, I'm going to wash my face. She said and ran away. Lou Ligon shook his head and said to Wen Wen, I drank too much last night and I will drink more tonight. I have a terrible headache. Come and give me a massage. Wen Wen quickly stood up and shouted, oh, I have to wash my face too. She also escaped. Lou Li banged the bed and howled, you two things, I treat you very badly. Is there any justice for you to treat me like this? In the corridor outside, Wen Wen and Qian were lying on the railing, laughing. Wen Wen saw that Yilin was out of school, and as soon as he walked into the yard, Wen Wen shouted, Yilin, hurry up, your tough brother has itchy skin, he said he wants you to come up and beat him. Yilin looked up at them and said contemptuously, Him? Oh, not without a beating. I'm too lazy to beat him. Ween Wen and Qian giggled. At 6:30, Lu Ligan arrived downstairs in Nanchuang. He first went to the reception area to order a knot, and then stood at the door waiting for Chief Ma. After waiting for more than 10 minutes, Chief Ma came. He was outside. They were completely different from those in the office. He waved to Lu Ligan from a distance, but before he even got closer, he called out. Sorry for keeping you waiting. This flattered Lu Lipol. The greeters at the entrance of Nanchuang all knew Section Chief Ma. When they saw him, they would call him Section Chief Ma affectionately. Section Chief Ma put his left hand on his hips and nodded at them with his right hand and said, "Forgot again." The two welcome guests laughed and said sweetly, "I know, call me Big Brother." Lu Ligan almost laughed. This Big Brother is too humming big. Chief Ma was very familiar with this place. He asked Lu Ligan, "You come and I come," he meant ordering food. Lu Ligan quickly said, "Here comes the section chief." Section Chief Ma told him that the same goes for you. When you leave the office, you should not call him Section Chief, but also Big Brother. Lu Ligan quickly said, "Okay, brother." Chief Ma ordered the dishes very quickly. He did not order expensive things like Gui Lao and Mr. Han. He ordered Australian dragon for lobster and ordinary grouper for fish, but Lu Ligan ordered what was strange was that he ordered the biggest of everything, including lobsters and fish, as well as mountain tortoises, poisonous snakes, and even squabs. He ordered the 4 biggest ones. Lu Ligan cursed in his heart, just 2 people, can they finish eating so much? Fortunately, no matter what he ordered, Lu Ligan estimated that he would not be able to order the minimum consumption. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 275. They sat down in the box, and the waiter came over and asked, "Do you need to remove a few seats for you?" Section Chief Ma waved his hand and shouted, don't move." Lu Ligan understood that he had someone else coming. After a while, someone was heard shouting in the corridor outside. Chief Ma responded. The door of the box was opened, and a woman came in with a child of 16 or 17 years old. Section Chief Ma and Lu Ligan introduced that this was my wife's son. My son went to the overseas Chinese middle school nearby, so I asked them to come over. Lu Ligan quickly said, "Let's go together. I'm worried that there are too few of us and we can't even spend the minimum consumption. We can eat whatever we want." Section Chief Ma snorted and also laughed. He said, "Are you and I thinking about it together? I am most afraid of waste when eating." Just as he was talking, a young man and an old man came in through the door. Chief Ma introduced them as his father-in-law and nephew. Lu Ligan thought to himself that this young man should be the one who opened the canteen downstairs of his home, and he really wanted to get to know him well. The next person who came in was the family of 3 members of the Ma section chief and his brother, 2 adults, and a little girl of 12 or 13 years old. When the little girl came in, she asked, "Uncle, have you ordered any poisonous snakes?" Chief Ma said, "How could the uncle forget? He knew that you like to eat venomous snakes the most." As Section Chief Ma spoke, he used 2 fingers to scratch Snake Nobuko's face. The little girl twisted her neck to avoid it. Lu Ligan thought to himself that it was strange for a little girl not to be afraid of venomous snakes, but also like to eat venomous snakes. The last ones to arrive were Section Chief Ma's sister-in-law and a cousin. 11 people crowded the large table for 12 people. To everyone who came in, Section Chief Ma gave them the menu and told them which dishes they had already ordered. They could add whatever they wanted to eat. Those people were not polite. No one even looked at Lu Ligan, and happily just light up. What they were talking seemed to be Hakka, mixed with Hainan Ese. Lu Ligan couldn't understand what they were saying. He felt that he was completely redundant in this room. Even if he stood up and left now, there would be no one. he will care, as long as he can come back on time to pay the bill. Chief Ma was sitting there, looking like a grown man. Even his father-in-law had a somewhat flattering attitude toward him. Lu Ligan was sitting there, not knowing anything but a silly smile. What else can I do in this situation? After they had finished adding all the dishes they wanted to add, Section Chief Ma seemed to remember something and said something to them. Everyone at the table laughed and had a good time. Only Lu Ligan was in his heart, humming everyone at the table. After checking over and over again, what kind of family are these? They are mainly anti-customers. They are not such anti-fa, right? Chief Ma called the waiter in, pointed his fingers in front of his face, and told the waiter to add a cup of bird's nest to each woman present, young and old, and a cup of shark's fin to each man. Only then did Lu Ligan realize that this was what they were happy about just now. When the waiter asked what kind of drink he wanted, the room was bustling again. Everyone signed up for a drink. Finally, Section Chief Ma asked Lu Ligan, "Xiao Lu, what do you want to drink?" Lu Ligan said, "I can do anything, I will accompany my eldest brother." Lu Ligan thought to himself, fortunately, these people only focus on eating well and have no knowledge. They all aim at domestic wine. For them, Mao Tai is already very good. They are not like Mr. Han, who only drinks Louis X3, otherwise, if I drink 3 or 4 bottles, my soul will definitely be severely damaged. Section Chief Ma patted Lu Ligan on the shoulder and told them, "My little brother is pretty good." Everyone clapped, and after the applause, they continued to throw him aside and continued their own topics in their native dialect. Lu Ligan sat there on pins and needles, wondering why today's meal took so long. He ate alone and drank alone. Sometimes when he just wanted to raise a toast to Chief Ma, someone would grab him. He bowed in one step, and Lu Ligan could only smile stupidly, pretending to be accompanying the drink, and took a sip. Lu Ligan remembered why Yang Wulai laughed when he said, "I can't bear to eat this meal." He felt baffled at the time, but now he understands that she must have expected such a scene. She was not with this family. "Come closer." The cups and plates on the table were in a mess, and everyone seemed to be well fed. Section Chief Ma called the waiter and asked her, "How far are we from the minimum consumption?" The waiter said, 1,100 yuan. "What else do you want to add?" Section Chief Ma snorted and turned to ask Lu Ligan. Lu Ligan shook his head. "Then there's no need to add food. It's a waste. Little sister, please bring us 3 or 5 cigarettes," Section Chief Ma said. After a while, the waiter came over with a bag of cigarettes. Chief Ma pointed at Lu Ligan and told the waiter, "Give it to him." Lu Ligan cursed in his heart, "Damn you, can I still take the cigarette away with me? If I take it away, tonight's dinner will be in vain. Not only is it in vain, it will be worse than eating your pockmarks. The consequences will be even more serious." Lu Ligan declined and said, "I'd better take this away with my eldest brother. I'm not used to outside smoking." Section Chief Ma declined at first, and finally sighed helplessly. He told his nephew, "Then help me and take it back." Section Chief Ma patted the table, then waved his hands and told them, "It's good for you all. My brother and I will sit down for a while." Lu Ligan understood that he was going to drive them away, so he went on to act alone with him. People at the table stood up one after another and left with cigarettes and smiles. When they left, everyone said polite words to Section Chief Ma, and no one greeted Lu Ligan. After they all left, Section Chief Ma took a toothpick, picked his teeth, took a deep breath, and threw the toothpick into the bone dish. He reached out and patted Lu Ligan on the shoulder and told him, "What about you? Don't worry, Big Brother is here." Lu Ligan quickly said, "Thank you, brother." Lu Ligan said to Section Chief Ma, "Brother, let's find a place to relax. I booked a private room in Daowen Hotel." Chief Ma said, "Okay, let's digest it." The two arrived at Daowen Hotel. Wenwen and Qian were waiting for them in the lobby. As soon as they saw Wenwen, Chief Ma's eyes lit up, and he took her hand and asked Wenwen to take them to the private room. The four of us were in the box, and they didn't sing a few songs all night. They were all sung by Lu Ligan and Qian. Section Chief Ma patronized Wenwen and once, blocked Wenwen in the room. He went into the restroom and came out after 20 or 30 minutes. Lu Li had to urinate urgently, so he had to go to the public restroom outside the box. When she came out, Wenwen's face was red and she glared at Lu Ligan resentfully. At about 1 o'clock, Section Chief Ma clapped his hands and said it was okay. That was the end of the day. Two men, one with Wenwen in his arms and the other with Qian in his arms, went downstairs. Lu Ligan thought it was true. That's it? Unexpectedly, Section Chief Ma suggested going to the Lion House for a midnight snack. Section Chief Ma suggested, and Lu Ligan could only pretend to be happy in response, hoping that Wenwen and Qian could help stop him. Unexpectedly, the two of them did not say anything, since they hoped to go. After all, it was the Lion Building. There is no other way, so we can only go to the Lion Tower. The four of them ate until almost 4 o'clock, and then it was really over. Lu Ligan asked to send Chief Ma home, but Chief Ma refused to say anything. He called a car and was about to leave. Lu Ligan could only I paid 20 yuan to the driver and asked him to take me home. At that time, Haikan taxis could take you to any corner of the city for 5 yuan. Just leave by yourself. Anyway, his nephew's shop won't be open now. After returning home, Wenwen asked Lu Ligan for a tip, and said that he must pay according to the regulations. Lu Ligan understood and cursed, "Damn it, we can't even defend the city." Wenwen was more fierce than him, roaring, "If I want to defend, I can only slap him in the face, do you want it?" Qian giggled beside her. Lu Ligan had no choice but to give her the money. Qian stretched out her hand and shouted, "I want it too, and I have to give it according to the regulations." Lu Ligan said curiously, "That doesn't make sense. I didn't see him touching you." Qian scolded, I'll do it for you every day." Lu Ligan thought it right, so he had to give her the money and give Wenwen a little more, so that she would double the amount. After this calculation, nearly 20,000 yuan was gone this night, and Lu Ligan felt heartbroken for a while. There was no talking all night, and the three of them stayed alone. When Wenwen came over, Lu Ligan pretended to have drunk too much and fell asleep. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 276. When he got up at noon, Lu Ligan went to the office. He saw that the phone had been installed in the office. As soon as Lu Ligan sat down, Huang Meili detained him. When he went back, Huang Meili asked him how he was doing. Lu Ligan said, "I poured out my bitterness and told Huang Meili about last night's experience." Huang Meili was on the other end of the phone, giggling. Lu Ligan scolded, "Do you still have humanity? I'm already haggard, and you can still laugh. Okay, Lao Ma, I'll treat you to dinner tonight and hug your hurt heart." Lu Ligan smiled and said, "That's pretty much it." At about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Lu Ligan's BB phone rang. He felt that the number was a bit familiar. After thinking for a while, he remembered it. He quickly found yesterday's business card from his bag and looked at it. Sure enough, it was Ma. When the section chief's office called, Lu Ligan felt ecstatic. In this way, the matter was settled, all the suffering was worth it, and the results were so damn immediate. Lu Ligan went back. Chief Ma snorted heavily on the phone and said, "Xiao Lu, today is the weekend, I'm going to treat you to dinner." You must come if you don't come. Big brother will be angry if you don't come. At 7 o'clock, see Dragon King Donghai Dragon Palace box. Putting down the phone, Lu Lizang yelled, "Your mother forced you to treat me to dinner. Isn't this obviously trying to beat me up again? Once there, can I get you to pay for it? If I ask you to pay the bill, then my 20,000 yuan yesterday will be wasted." Awesome, Lao Ma, you are so humming awesome, you can even try to rip off money. If I treat you to dinner today, are you treating me to shit? After calming down, Lu Li pinned Huang Meili and told her that we couldn't have dinner together tonight, so Lao Ma called me. Lu Ligan told Huang Meili the phone number of Chief Ma. Huang Meili frowned and said to Lu Ligan, "Has he convinced you?" Lu Ligan grimaced. He said, "I think so." Lu Ligan remembered a detail. No wonder Lao Ma asked himself yesterday if he was a shareholder or not. Firstly, you are anxious, and secondly, you have the right. If you are just a person, generally, when you go to work, you have to treat guests and give gifts, and you also have to report and ask for instructions, which is not that convenient. 50 million, shareholders have their own funds. No wonder Section Chief Ma looked at the name of the major shareholder so carefully and knew that he was the owner who was not short of money. Oh my God, I made a mistake and regretted it for eternity. I shouldn't have gone yesterday at all, and now I'm riding a tiger with difficulty. Huang Meili agreed with Lu Ligan's judgment and said, "It's so pitiful, Lao Ma, you are being missed by thieves." After a pause, Huang Meili shouted again, "If I don't do it, then I won't be alone at night." Lu Ligan said, "I also want to be with you." "Who wants to have dinner with Lao Ma, but?" "Call me honey," Huang Meili said. "Honey. Say sorry quickly." "Sorry. Okay, I forgive you." This night was almost a replica of the previous day. Lu Ligan sat stupidly, watching this close family having their family dinner, but the venue was moved from Nance Huang Hotel to Neptune King Hotel. They were not more familiar with Lu Ligan, nor did they give Lu Ligan a second look. Although in the middle, they collectively applauded Lu Ligan. In their opinion, they had expressed enough goodwill and gave Lu Ligan enough face. You have to be sensible. After eating to a certain extent, Section Chief Ma waved his hands and drove them all home. When there were only 2 people left, Section Chief Ma said, "Brother, how can you be so embarrassed? I promised you that I would treat you to dinner. In the end, it cost you money. If you do this, how can I dare to call you again next time?" Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Look at what eldest brother said, if you say this, don't you treat me as your younger brother? My eldest brother's family is my family, isn't it normal to treat me to a meal? Besides, I am alone in Hainan, how can I know amount of money can buy me to experience the joy of this kind of big family firsthand? If my eldest brother wants to see me outside, then that's really true." Lao Ma was stunned for a moment, and he said, "It's strange. People say that I, Lao Ma, can talk. Why can't I talk to you?" Lu Ligan laughed loudly, "It's not that you can't speak to me, brother, it's that you are being unreasonable." "I am being unreasonable. Of course you have nothing to say." "Really?" Section Chief Ma snorted and smiled, "It seems that this is really the case. Well, I won't be verbose. As I said, your business is my business. You can let it go. 10,000 hearts. With my eldest brother here, I don't have anything to worry about. If the sky falls, my eldest brother will help me hold up," Lu Ligan said. "Okay, that's a good idea," Section Chief Ma said. "Well then, I'll invite you to sing." "Damn you, you are so in-depth and shocking step by step. You don't want to skip a single scene. Do you have to play out the entire script?" Lu Ligan was furious, but he still had a smile on his face. He said yes, but he didn't know if there were any rooms in Daowen Hotel now. Yes, I told the little girl yesterday and asked her to help with the order, Section Chief Ma said. Did you talk to Wenwen yesterday? Damn it, why have I never heard Wenwen mention it before? Lu Ligan was stunned for a while and understood. Wenwen and the others each have the task of booking a box every month, and there is also a commission. If someone wants to book a box, of course she is happy to see the results, but does she care who pays for it? Lu Ligan felt like there was a fire in the backyard. Everything continued as usual. Section Chief Ma still didn't sing one more song, but blocked Wenwen in the bathroom more times. As time went by, Lu Ligan stared at the closed door of the bathroom, feeling angry. Qian was there. Looking at Lu Ligan chuckling, she asked, "Are you envious? Otherwise, when they come out, we go in. Anyway, whether you touch me or not, you have to pay the Taiwan price." Lu Ligan glared at her, and Qian laughed loudly, put a microphone into his hand, and called, "Sing, sing, my dear, love song 1990. Lu Ligan held the microphone in his hand, and Qian had already started singing, "With your dark eyes and your smiling face, it's hard to forget the change in your appearance. The old days have just slipped away. Turn around and go back to take a look, several years have passed." Lu Ligan sang along, "Maybe tomorrow when the sun sets in the west and the tired bird has returned, you will have already embarked on the journey back to the past. It is rare in life to find a partner who knows each other again. After all, life will never leave the blue sky." After another tossing until about 4 o'clock, everyone went home. Lu Ligan asked Wenwen if there were any secrets and whether he had booked another box for tomorrow. "No more," Wenwen said. Really, I lied to you like a puppy. Good sister, don't book it if you have one. You won't sing anyway, so why don't you go to the KTV at all? You have to accompany him. I will still tip you. If you book a room, I will also reimburse you. This saves money than going to the KTV." "Really?" Wenwen asked. "Really, I lied to you. I'm a puppy. I also want to rent a room, and you will reimburse me," Qian called from the side. "Go away," Lu Ligan cursed, "you and I go to the next door to get a room. The next door is vacant." The next day, Section Chief Ma called Lu Ligan again and said he wanted to treat her to dinner. The difference was that he asked Lu Ligan to bring the little girl with him. Lu Ligan knew that he was talking about Wenwen, and he was scolding her in his heart. "Are you cheating? With so many family members and sons present, is it too obscene for you to be so naked? Okay, if you want to take them, I will take 2 of them for you. Take Qian too. When they arrive, they will sit next to you, one on the left and one on the right, to see how you cope." The dinner was at the VIP hotel. This time, none of the close family showed up, only the 4 of them. Lu Ligan breathed a sigh of relief. Although the money continued to be spent, the nightmare finally did not have to continue. When dinner was almost over, Section Chief Ma took Wenwen out and never came back. Lu Ligan and Qian waited for a long time but still didn't arrive. Qian cursed that they would not come back. Lu Ligan paid the order and saw Qian's languid expression. He knew that she felt a little disappointed. Lu Ligan looked a little distressed. He looked at his watch and said to Qian, "Anyway, you are late for work. I'll take you to Tyrone City and let's go watch a movie." "Okay," Qian became excited. At about 2 o'clock, Wenwen came back. She handed a room charge invoice to Lu Ligan and asked him to reimburse her. She also asked him for a tip. This time, Qian was on the side and remained silent. When giving the tip, Lu Lipol also gave it to her. Qian took it and remained silent. Another day, Section Chief Ma did not dunk Lu Ligan again. In the evening, Lu Ligan knew that Lao Ma finally did not have to deal with Lao Ma today. He wanted to dunk Huang Mei, but he was worried that at this time, Huang Mei should be with the old man. Together, even the sound of the BB machine would arouse the old man's suspicion, so he gave up. Lu Ligan returned to Yilin's house and saw that Jian had gotten up, was putting on makeup, and was getting ready to go to work, but Wen Wen was not seen. Lu Ligan asked, "Where is Wen Wen?" Jian curled her li. The Pentium era, south to north. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 277. Lu Ligan arrived at Zhang Chen's place. Zhang Chen saw him coming in and asked, "Why have you been missing these past few days?" "I went to work as an escort. I had to eat, drink and sing with her," Lu Ligan said angrily. Zhang Chen looked at him strangely. "You?" "Yes, I am Section Chief Ma's younger brother," Lu Ligan said. Lu Ligan told Zhang Chen what he had experienced in the past few days. After that, he frowned. Zhang Chen felt the same as Huang Mele. He said, "This bastard has got you, it's easy to handle. He also deliberately wants to drag you along, otherwise, if the license is released, there will be no one to pay for it." "Yeah, I know that too, but damn it, I'm on the pirate ship now and I can't get off. Every day while I'm lying down, the money is flowing out. Damn it, this bastard, until now, I haven't even said a word about it, and I don't know when this license will be issued." "What will you do when the money is spent?" Zhang Chen asked. Lu Ligan sighed, "I don't know either. If that doesn't work, let Wen Wen withdraw. At least the bleeding can be stopped. But if we withdraw now, we will lose everything and all our previous efforts will be wasted. If this bastard keeps his eye on my license and puts it in the basket, there is nothing anyone can do." Zhang Chen thought about it and realized that this was the same reason. This chess game didn't look like an end game, but more like a dead game. Chief Ma had already pinned Lu to death. The two of them sat with sad expressions on their faces, unable to think of a solution. "Now damn, I don't even dare to call Sun Ho. I don't know what to do. What can I say to him after the call is connected?" Lu Ligan cursed. Lu Ligan's BB phone rang, and it was an unfamiliar number. Lu Ligan turned around and saw that it was Huang Mele. Huang Mele said on the phone, "Lao Ma, I'm at the airport now, getting ready to leave the island." "Ah," Lu Ligan was taken aback and asked, "Where are you going?" "Go to Guangzhou first, then transfer to Zhejiang." "I'm going to Ningbo." "Are you alone?" "Yes." "Where are you now?" "The public phone in the terminal is here." "Okay, I'll be right over." Lu Ligan hung up the phone, stood up, and said to Zhang Chen, "I'm going out for a while." He hurriedly ran out, reached the door, got on his motorcycle and left. Huang Mele hung up the phone and knew that Lu Ligan was coming, so she walked towards the entrance of the terminal. She wanted to wait for him there, but before she got there, she saw Lu Ligan running over. Huang Mele was surprised, "So fast?" Lu Ligan said, "I am at Wanghai Tower." "That's fast," Huang Mele said. "I came on a motorcycle." Huang Mele said oh and nodded, "The bicycle has been replaced by a motorcycle." "Lao Ma, are you on the rich list?" Lu Ligan smiled and said, "You drive a sports car, how can I compare with you?" "Me too," Huang Mele giggled, "if I don't have a wealthy family, how can I eat, wear, spend anything? I don't have a job, and I can't even afford a bicycle." "You are more direct," Lu Ligan thought to himself. Huang Mele looked at the time and said to Lu Ligan, "Lao Ma, go treat me to a bowl of noodle soup." Lu Ligan said yes. "I want 2 more eggs." Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Okay. Then I'm with you now, let's go." Huang Mele took Lu Ligan's arm, and the two of them walked out of the terminal. The departure hall of Haikan Airport is very small. It is on the first floor of a 4-story building on the roadside of the airport. There is nothing inside except a small shop selling tobacco, alcohol, and beverages. However, the airport road outside the terminal building is full of shopping malls. It's a hot pot and snack bar. At the gate of the terminal, there were a bunch of people standing there who were not allowed to smoke inside and were kicked out by the security guards. They smoked and smoked, making the gate of the terminal filled with smoke. The two of them passed through the smoke and arrived at Airport Road. There was a noodle shop right next to the exit. It looked very clean. The two of them went in. Huang Mei sat down, and Lu Li ordered 2 soup noodle dishes, each with more noodle soup. I ordered 2 eggs and some braised vegetables. Well, I can go to Zhejiang without being hungry, Huang Mei said happily. There's nothing to eat on the plane, Lu Li asked curiously. Yes, the bread on the plane can be used as bricks to build a house. What time does it take to go to Hangzhou from Guangzhou? We can arrive in Hangzhou at 2:10 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Huang Mei said. When we arrive in Hangcheng, we will take a taxi directly to Ningbo. Taxi from Hangzhou to Ningbo, Lu Ligan shouted. After all, he is a rich man. Let me tell you, I have never even taken a taxi in Hangzhou. Then what are you sitting on? Walking or taking the bus? The most expensive bus is only 80 cents. There are no buses in Haikan. There are motorcycle taxis and vans in Haikan, but there are no motorcycles in Hangzhou. Is there a caravan? No, there are disabled cars in Hangzhou, which are similar to canopy cars, Lu Ligan said. By the way, you have never been to Hangzhou. No, I have never been to Hangzhou or Ningbo. Then you are unfamiliar with this place, so you dare to go there alone. Are you, Zhejiang, terrible? It's not terrible, but after all, you are a girl. By the way, why are you going to Ningbo? I'm going to have something to do. I'll go with you, Lu Ligan said. Okay, Huang Mei's eyes lit up and she shouted excitedly, but she quickly calmed down and said, don't you still have to wait for the license? Whatever, there's no hope of being held down by Lao Ma anyway. Just wait a few days. Huang Mei thought for a while and said to Lu Ligan, it's better not to do it. When men do things, they still have to go all out and never look back. Even if they die, they still have to leave the body on the battlefield. The license here is not good, but you are running away. Come on, Beijing will only think you are an irresponsible person. Lu Ligan was silent. By the way, Lao Ma, let me report on your situation these days, Huang Mei said. Lu Ligan then told Huang Mei what happened in the past few days, but in the process of talking, Wenwen was hidden. Huang Mei looked at Lu Ligan dancing and imitating the family, laughing so hard that she could not stand up straight. She fanned her hands in front of her face and said with a smile, Gee, Lao Ma, stop talking, Lao Ma, I'm sorry, no, really, I have never seen such a shameless family, Lao Ma, okay, no, I can't laugh. After Lu Ligan finished speaking, Huang Mei laughed for a while, then stopped, looked at Lu Ligan and said, Lao Ma, that's right, then Lao Ma has decided to take over you. Now he is your father and wants you serving you every day. It's not just the father, the son is not so good to the father, but damn, I don't dare to get angry or say anything, Lu Ligan said with a frown. Huang Mei reached over and touched Lu Ligan's forehead, trying to help him smooth out his frown. She sighed softly, this is not an option. By the way, how about letting Yang Wilai look for him again? Lu Ligan shook his head and said it was useless. He didn't like Yang Wilai at all. Lu Ligan said, I hate this old man so much that I will never forget it. Whenever I stop and have time, all I can think about is how to get revenge on him. Okay, tell me quickly, how can you retaliate against him? Huang Mei became interested. Lu Ligan smiled and said, when the license is obtained, I can go back to Nance Huang, treat him to dinner and say thank you to him, and he will definitely come out with the whole family again. I understand, you just slipped away in the meantime and left them there so that none of them could leave, right, Lao Ma? Huang Mei asked, and Lu Ligan nodded. Haha, then Lao Ma must be furious. This is good. Do you have any more? Yes, Lu Ligan smiled and said, do you remember that his nephew opened a canteen downstairs in his house? Huang Meli nodded. He also knows me now and knows that I am asking for something from his uncle. I can go to his place, get all the cigarettes and alcohol, and then pretend that I forgot to bring my wallet, and tell him that I will bring him these cigarettes next time. Lend me the wine first. He knew I was taking it upstairs to give to his uncle, so he would definitely let me take it away. Huang Meli opened her eyes wide and looked at Lu Ligan. When he continued, Lu Ligan continued. I went upstairs, put down the cigarettes and alcohol, and left without saying anything. When the license came out, I called his nephew again and told him that I should borrow his cigarettes and alcohol. I bought them from other places, or should I return them? Give it to him. I left it with your uncle that day. Go and get it yourself. When I took it up, I didn't tell Lao Ma that it was for him. Is there nothing they can do? It's too insidious, Lao Ma. It seems that I can't offend you in the future. Huang Meli shook her head and sighed in admiration. Lu Ligan sighed, I just thought about it. After the license is obtained, who will have time to argue with him? Now I really don't know how to get rid of this leech. I sympathize with you, Lao Ma. Huang Meli held Lu Ligan's hand and said with a grimace. By the way, Lao Ma, Huang Meli said, you can either tell Lao Ma that they in Beijing are scolding you for your incompetence and want to call you back. They say that this license is so troublesome and they should just not get it. Do you want to get old? Is Ma Hui panicking? If you leave the island, he can't get anything. If you are still here, he will give you the license. He can still take advantage of you from time to time. It must be a good deal to give you the license. Yes. Lu Ligan shouted, this is indeed a good idea, but he immediately felt sad. There is also Wen Wen here. Wen Wen knows exactly how she is doing. You know what she will say to Lao Ma. It seems that they are very close now. I'll try it, Lu Ligan said, just to make Huang Meli happy. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 278. Huang Meli looked at her watch, pursed her lips and said to Lu Ligan, Lao Ma, the time is up, please send me in. The two of them got up, Lu Ligan paid, and walked back to the waiting hall together. When they reached the security checkpoint, the two of them stood face to face. Huang Meli stretched out her finger, drew on Lu Ligan's chest, and murmured, Lao Ma, Zhejiang is so far away. If you miss me, you won't be able to find me, and I can't find you either. I won't do it. You didn't bring Big Brother with you. It's useless to bring it. Guangdong and Hainan are connected to the internet, and Zhejiang is not connected to the internet yet, Huang Meli said. By the way, you can call my office number. I will be there during the day, Lu Ligan remembered. Also, if you encounter any trouble in Zhejiang, call me and I will ask my friends to help you. Lu Ligan thought of Xiao Wu. He missed Xiao Wu. If he came to find him, he would definitely be obliged to do so. As he spoke, Lu Ligan took out his business card from his bag, wrote down his office number on the back of the business card, and gave it to Huang Meli. Huang Meli took the business card and chuckled. Why are you laughing? Lu Li asked curiously. Huang Meli pointed to the three characters Lu Ligan on the business card and said with a smile, so your name is very funny, but I still like to call you Lao Ma. Okay, I am your boss. Lao Ma. Hug me. Lu Lizan hugged Huang Meli, and the two of them felt a trace of reluctance in their hearts. Huang Meli pushed Lu Lapole away gently and said, okay, otherwise I won't be able to bear to leave. Huang Meli turned around and walked towards the security checkpoint. Lu Ligan stood there and kept looking at her. Huang Meli passed the security check and walked far away before turning around and saw Lu Ligan still standing there. Huang Meli raised her arm, waved at Lu Ligan, turned around and continued, turned a corner and disappeared from Lu Ligan's sight. Lu Ligan continued to stand where he was, feeling lost. With Huang Meli gone, there is no need to go to the Industrial and Commercial Bureau anymore, or even prepare for dinner and activities with Lao Ma in the evening. Now Wenwen is representing him. Lu Ligan feels that he is free all of a sudden. He seizes this afternoon and runs. I contacted 2 companies and implemented the intentions discussed with them on the phone over the past 2 days into contracts. Lu Ligan returned to the newspaper office with the contract and saw the director. As expected, the director told him about donating money to the floods in East China. The director said that everyone had registered and it would be deducted from the salary. In our department, everyone else had 510, you and me, 100 each. Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Why should I be like you?" The director scolded, "Because you and I are on the same level, whether you are the director's director or not, of course it's 100. Okay, you always make wise decisions. Just ask the leader not to give me a hi-hat when I need money." The director glared at Lu Ligan, who laughed and ran out of his office. At around 4 o'clock, Lu Ligan arrived at Zhang Chen's place and told Zhang Chen that he was free today. How about asking Meng Ping to have dinner with him? My treat. Zhang Chen hesitated, and Lu Ligan said suspiciously, "What, are you in trouble?" Zhang Chen quickly said it was okay, just call him. Meng Ping was very happy to receive Lu Ligan's call. He immediately took a taxi and arrived at Zhang Chen's office. As expected, he and Zhang Chen hit it off. Lu Ligan asked him how the interview went. Meng Ping said that the recruitment had been completed. He smiled and said, "My interview was very simple. I just told them that I don't care if you are smart or not, let alone which one you are. As a graduate of school, if you don't understand something, it doesn't matter, I will teach you. I only care about whether you are loyal to the company or not. You are asking in vain. Who would tell you that he is not loyal?" Zhang Chen said. "Yes, then I will tell them that you will spend more time in the company than with your boyfriend. No matter what you are doing now, you are the core of this company. You don't care about your boyfriend loyalty, at worst, we will have a big quarrel and break up. If you are not loyal to the company, then you will kill the company and my life, think about it clearly." Meng Ping said. Lu Ligan said disdainfully, "It was still nonsense." "It won't be the next thing," Meng Ping said. "I asked them, what if the company can't pay wages for 3 months and you can't even pay the rent?" One of them said, "I will find a way to see. I wanted to see if I could help the company borrow some money." Another person said that he could only take care of the food, not the food. Another person said that he would sleep in an office like you. I saw straw mats and blankets. Haha, I told them that you have one night to think about it and think about it carefully. I hope you come to the company, not to work and make money, but to start a business together. If you are still willing to come, I will go to work at 9 o'clock tomorrow. If you regret it, it doesn't matter. In the future, when you see me getting rich, no matter where you are, please come to me and I will give you 10,000 yuan. I have no other intention than to show you how the person who stayed behind is doing now." Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan laughed loudly, and Lu Ligan said, "In the end, you didn't recruit anyone." "Wrong, all 3 people came the next day. I originally planned to recruit 2, but ended up keeping all 3. Zhang Chen smiled and said, "You are not recruiting people here, it is completely a gathering in the Juyi Hall." "Yes, that's right. At noon that day, I invited them to dinner and told them that from today on, we will live together. From now on, if your parents don't want you, I will want you. You will. If your husband kicks you out of the house, it doesn't matter, I will still want you. I will never leave you here, and I hope you will never leave the company." As Meng Ping spoke, he changed the subject and asked Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan, "Do you know why I always recruit women?" "Huabi, I want to turn the company into a harem," Lu Ligan said. "You," Meng Ping scolded, Let me tell you, this is the result of my long-term observation. Women are more loyal than men. Men will stab you when you drink today, but they will do it behind your back tomorrow. Women can't stab you twice, so when you meet a good woman, you must treat her well, I mean the company, they will really be your treasures from now on. Okay, let's go eat mutton with 2 ribs, Luligan shouted. The 3 of them went to eat mutton hot pot. Meng Ping sat down and after a few bites, he shouted that it was delicious. He said no, I must bring the 3 of them to eat tomorrow. Luligan and Zhang Chen knew that the 3 of them he was talking about were the employees he had just recruited. When he said this, it was completely subconscious, and it really felt like sharing blessings and sharing hardships. Continuing to chat, Zhang Chen and Luligan found out that the place where Meng Ping came from was not far from them. He was from Wuxi, Jiangsu. He turned out to be a cadre of the local personnel bureau. He had studied in the unit organization a few years ago. When Yuan Kai's report on reform and opening up is no longer good, he said, I realized that I was someone who wanted to do big things, and I could no longer hang out in the agency day after day, so I thought about resigning, but my girlfriend stopped me. Later, I read Li Ka-shing's biography and researched it. Regarding real estate in various countries around the world, I can tell you that no advanced country has a welfare housing allocation system like ours. This system will definitely be changed in the future. Now, like us, if people in rural areas have money, it's easy to build new houses by themselves. But what about people in cities? How can the needs of those households with 10,000 yuan that get rich first be met? Most of the current houses are either the work unit or the housing management committee. It is not their turn to allocate houses, and there is no place to buy a house. It is definitely not possible. It will definitely change, and real estate will become a market. I decided that I would be in the real estate business for the rest of my life. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to leave the company. People told me that I could find a way to stay on without pay. But I didn't want to, so I had to burn the boat and push myself into trouble. My daughter and I, my friend, probably my fiancé, had an in-depth conversation, and she was finally persuaded by me to agree to break up. My family prepared to give me the money for my wedding, and my fiancé also lent me the money she had saved. I also borrowed money from classmates, friends, relatives, and everyone who could borrow money. Only then did I get together 10,000 yuan. I came to Hainan, haha, let me tell you, if I don't get famous in Hainan, I won't be able to go back. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan were all sighing after hearing Meng Ping's words. They felt that this guy's determination to come to Hainan was much firmer than theirs, and the price he paid was much greater than theirs. The 3 of them raised their glasses and drank it all in one gulp. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 279. Lu Ligan told Meng Ping that he was also applying for a business license for a real estate company. Meng Ping shouted, okay, then we will be partners in the future. By the way, how about it? Is it difficult to apply for a local license? I'm going to start letting them run away tomorrow too. The front is not difficult, as long as the materials are well prepared. If you are a one-man company, it is easy to modify the places you want to modify. You don't have to fly in and out like me. The difficulty is the back. After all the materials are available, I will be stuck now. It's here. Give them wild food and fishy food. How can any cat not eat wild food and fishy food? I know these bastards very well. Lu Ligan smiled bitterly, yes, it's just that the cats here have a big appetite. It's not like in mainland China. They can just give them some cigarettes and alcohol. I haven't figured it out yet. How much have you spent now? Meng Ping asked. Lu Ligan stretched out 5 fingers. So much, 5,000. Lu Ligan glared at him, 50,000. I'll burn incense for 5,000. Meng Ping's face suddenly turned pale, and he shouted, so many, this is too cruel, you really dare to say it. Then damn, even the remaining money I have is not enough to deal with them. I guess it's hanging, Lu Ligan said, let's go through the formalities in front of you first. If you get stuck, don't take any follow-up actions until I get down here and figure out the direction. Okay, I just have to wait until your senior changes from a pioneer to a martyr. You. Lu Ligan cursed. Zhang Chen laughed, but thought in his heart that this was something he, the general manager, had never experienced before. He already had the license from Panji Company when he arrived, and for Mr. Fu, it was also there would definitely not be such a tragic scene, everything was done in a calm atmosphere, otherwise Hai Bassian would not be Hai Bassian. People like Section Chief Ma also have bones that they can't chew. They know how to advance and retreat wisely. Only when they catch people like Lu Ligan and Meng Ping will they bite hard. After passing this village, there will be no more shops like this. After the 3 of them finished eating, they parted at the door. Meng Ping told them that they were too full, so I would take a walk first and call the taxi driver when I got to the front. After that, he left. Lu Ligan asked Zhang Chen, should you go to Wanghalu or Wenmingdong? I send you. Zhang Chen looked at the direction in which Meng Ping disappeared and said to Lu Ligan, I am very close to him everywhere, so you should go and see him off. I guess this guy is not even willing to fight. Lu Ligan said yes and went out on his motorcycle. Sure enough, he was right in front. He saw Meng Ping on the sidewalk and kept walking forward. He had no intention of calling for a motorcycle. Lu Ligan stopped beside him and told him, get in the car and I will take you there. He happened to pass by your company. Lu Ligan sent Meng Ping downstairs to the company. He originally wanted to go to Lu Yun, but he thought that when he arrived, Lu Yun would definitely ask him about the license. The last thing Lu Ligan wanted to talk about now was the license. Lu Ligan simply went home and went to bed, waiting for Wen Wen to come back to see if there was any good news. It was almost 4 o'clock in the morning when Wen Wen came back. Lu Ligan and Jian were playing cards. When Jian saw Wen Wen coming in, she closed the cards in her hand and threw them on the table. No more fighting, Jian said. Lu Ligan stood up and returned to his room. After a while, Wen Wen came over and took out the meal invoice and accommodation invoice and asked for reimbursement. Lu Ligan was furious when he saw it, but he couldn't get angry easily. He asked, damn it, did you say anything to you? No, Wen Wen said. Didn't say anything. He said a lot of disgusting things, do you want to listen? Roll. Go away, you haven't given me the money yet. Lu Ligan opened his bag, took the money from the bag, and counted it to Wen Wen. Wen Wen stared at him and smiled, look at you, you look so damn reluctant. Lu Ligan said angrily, if it were you, would you be happy? You're not happy that Jian still has a problem with me, and I'm tired of it. Either I tell Lao Ma tomorrow that I don't want to serve you anymore, and let him go. Don't. If you don't take care of me, the money I've spent will be wasted. Lu Li was anxious. He thought that this crazy girl might really do this, and she wouldn't care about his good intentions. Wen Wen giggled, and after a while, she asked, by the way, what do you want this old man to do for you? What can he help me with? I need to get a license. What is a license? Idiot, the business license is the one hanging on the wall in the bar in your lobby. I understand. Wen Wen nodded, old Ma Guan is this? Certainly. Then why didn't you tell me earlier? Wen Wen thought for a moment, reached out and patted Lu Ligan's face, and said to him, this is all on me. Don't mess around. Lu Ligan became anxious again. I'm going to cause trouble. By the way, to be honest, Do you dislike me and avoid me these days? No way, I am sympathizing with you and know you are tired, Lu Ligan quickly defended. Wenwen smiled and said, that's pretty much it. Qian didn't know when she stood at the door. She kicked the open door with her foot and yelled angrily at them, I'm hungry. Lu Ligan said, let's go to the food stall. It was not convenient for Wenwen to say that she had already eaten, so she had to yawn and said that she was very sleepy and needed to wash up and sleep. Lu Lipol walked over, put his arms around Kinkin's shoulders, and said to her, then we old man go, old wife. Qian twisted her body, trying to throw Lu Ligan's hand away, and cursed, go away, who is an old married woman with you? She struggled a few times but failed to break free from Lu Ligan's hand, so she stopped struggling and the two of them walked downstairs. After leaving the courtyard and walking on the road, Qian snorted sadly, they live in the lion house every day, and I'm so damn hungry that I want to jump off the building every day. Lu Ligan chuckled and said, just tell me when you are hungry. Besides, there is nothing to envy in this. Look, when you are having supper, you are facing a talented person like me every day. His face is pockmarked. Qian also laughed and cursed, shameless, you still show talent? It's just a little better than that pockmarked one. Lu Ligan kissed her on the face, and the two of them walked towards the small street laughing. At about 3 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, Lu Ligan was in the office, filled a basin with water, and was doing some cleaning with a rag in his hand. Cao Kuaking and others helped him finish painting, and the Post and Telecommunications office came to install the phone again. He thanked him. Cao Kuaking and Xiaolin also helped arrange the furniture brought by the boss, but he didn't have time to take care of the hygiene in the office. When he had time this afternoon, Lu Ligan decided to have a big fight. In fact, he was thinking, would Huang Mei call? When Lu Ligan was doing hygiene, he naturally thought of the day he saw Meng Ping for the first time, and couldn't help laughing. He thought, these two future Hainan real estate giants were like this when they started their business. Virtue. Meng Ping is a little better than himself. He now has at least 3 employees. He probably no longer needs to clean the house by himself, but he is still a polished commander. Lu Ligan thought to himself, how great it would be if someone took a camera and took a photo of his appearance, so that he could use it later when he brags to company employees or writes his autobiography. The story of Lu Ligan's struggle is illustrated with pictures and texts. Of course, in this history of struggle, Lao Ma must be indispensable. He must be a rich and colorful part to make him famous. The BB machine in Lu Li's waist was beeping. Lu Li looked down and saw that it was an unfamiliar number, so he ignored it. Didn't you see that Mr. Lu is very busy now? Wait a moment. This may also be new business. At this time, it is beneficial to deliberately delay the reply. It will make you look busy and deepen the impression of the other party. When you reply, you can brag and say where you are, or you can keep going. Apologize sincerely, so that the two sides will naturally talk more and more. This is also the experience Lu Ligan summed up. After a while, the beeping sound rang again, and it was still the same number. Lu Ligan felt a shiver in his heart. He felt that this was a little abnormal. There were no new customers who were so impatient. Every new customer had a number in their hands. If you don't reply to the reporter's business cards piled up, he will take the next one and won't let the paging station show you off 3 times in a row. Sure enough, the beeps sounded again one after another, all from that number. Lu Ligan threw down the rag in his hand, picked up the phone and called back. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 280. Why the hell didn't you call me back? Wenwen yelled on the phone. Lu Ligan said, how do I know it's you? This is not the store's phone number. The devil is in the shop, I'm in front of the humming Industrial and Commercial Bureau, get over here. After Wenwen said that, She hung up the phone. At the entrance of the Industrial and Commercial Bureau, Lou Ligon was shocked, knowing that something big had happened, but he didn't know whether it was a disaster or a blessing. Lou Ligon rode his motorcycle to the entrance of the Industrial and Commercial Bureau. He saw that although Wenwen was standing in the shade of a tree, she was still holding an umbrella in her hand and a piece of paper in her other hand, fanning herself constantly. "Windy?" Lou Ligon asked, "Why are you here?" Wenwen rolled her eyes at him and cursed, "It's not because of you." She handed the paper in her hand to Lou Ligon and said, "Here you go, take a good look. Do you want this?" Lou Ligon took a look and saw that it was a business license collection notice. Lou Ligon didn't seem to believe his eyes. He looked again and saw that it was really a business license collection notice. He was informed that the day after tomorrow, he would register with the enterprise on the third floor of the Municipal Industry and Commerce Bureau. 3. Office, with the original ID card, obtain the business license of Hainan Jinghai Real Estate Co., Ltd. The edge of the notice was still wet with sweat from Wenwen's hand. "That's great," Lou Lizan picked up Wenwen. If there weren't so many people walking around, he would have kissed her. Wenwen hit his shoulder with her hand and cursed, "Let go, it's all sweat and it stinks." Lou Ligon let go of his hand, chuckled, and asked, "Why did I just give it to you, Lao Ma?" Wenwen said disdainfully, "What's so difficult about this? I sat in his office and told him, if you don't finish it for me today, I'll just sit here and not leave. How can he still eat me? I can only behave obediently." Ran upstairs. Lou Lizan gave Wenwen a thumbs up and sighed, "One thing really brings down another thing. Send me home quickly. I'm so sleepy that I woke up very early because of this stupid thing like yours," Wenwen said. Although it is already past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Wenwen's words are correct. They usually go to bed at dawn and don't get up until 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Going out at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon is not a good idea for her. He said, he really got up early. This is also the reason why Wenwen must go home and refuse to stay in the hotel overnight, no matter whether she is outside or tossing with Lao Ma until 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. For her, she has to get up before checking out at 12 noon the next day. It is really uncomfortable to go home under the strong midday sun. Lou Ligon quickly put the notice in his bag, patted the motorcycle seat, and said to Wenwen, "Come on, Your Majesty, let's get off the road and our class will return to the court." Wenwen giggled. After sending Wenwen home, Lou Ligon hurried to Longja Building. He did not go back to his office, but went to Li Yong. Li Yong smiled when he saw the notice Lou Ligon handed him. "Awesome, Pole." The two of them went to Chen Qiang's office. Chen Qiang was happy to see it. He asked, had he told Sun Ho? Lou Ligon said, "It's not too late yet." Chen Qiang grabbed the phone on the table and called Sun Ho to tell him that your license was ready. Sun Ho also shouted on the phone, "So fast? This guy is so awesome." Chen Qiang hung up Sun Ho's call, and Li Yong said, "Regardless of the monkey, let's celebrate ourselves first, or have hot pot at 11 o'clock tonight." Lou Ligon said yes, and Chen Qiang notified Lu Yun and Zhang Chen on the phone at hand. Lou Ligon looked on with a little regret in his heart. He thought, it is a pity that the two major contributors to this license, Huang Meili and Wenwen, there is no way to attend. When Lu Yun saw Zhang Chen, she asked, "Why didn't Lily come?" Before Zhang Chen opened his mouth, Lin Yiyan said that Lily was in Sanya. Zhang Chen sat there, feeling strange in his heart. He felt like they were talking about a stranger to him. How could he not know that Jin Lily had gone to Sanya? Lou Ligon and Lu Yun hadn't seen each other for several days. When they met, they were a little stiff and reserved. After sitting down, Lu Yun stretched out her hand and twisted Lou Ligon's thigh, complaining about his relationship. The disappearance of time. Lou Ligon almost cried out in pain, but he held it back. He looked at Lu Yun, who smiled slightly. Their hands were held together under the table and they were shaking. Only then did he feel that everything was perfect as before. At about 1 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, the entire Longja building, including Li Yang's company, fell into silence. It spread to every building in Haikan. This was the unshakable nap time in the city. The whole city doesn't start to wake up until at least 2 o'clock, and it doesn't fully wake up until 3 o'clock. The air conditioner was blowing. Li Yang took a cushion and lay on the table to sleep. He didn't dare to sleep on the sofa. Even if he slept on the sofa until 4 o'clock, he would not get enough sleep. He would still yawn when he sat up. Someone knocked twice on the door. Li Yang didn't hear it. He might have heard it, but he was too lazy to pay attention to him. None of the people who came at this time were talking about anything serious. All serious people were taking a nap now. Haikan people who don't take a nap. The door was pushed open, and the man walked in from outside, threw the bag in his hand on the sofa, walked to Li Yang, stood for a while, stretched out his hand, grabbed the corner of the cushion, and twitched Li Yang hard. His skull hit the table with a thud. He raised his head angrily, but was stunned, and the visitor burst out laughing. "Sun Ho, why the hell are you here?" Li Yang shouted while touching his forehead. "My company is above yours, why the hell can't I come?" Sun Chenkuo yelled back. Li Yang didn't bother to argue with him. He grabbed the phone on the table, dialed a few numbers, and shouted into the phone, "That monkey is here, come here." After a while, Chen Qiang came in from the door with red and swollen eyes. His first words were, "Why the hell are you here?" Sun Chenkuo waved his hand and told them that the matter was urgent and I would leave in a few days. "Is the Pole upstairs?" Li Yang said that he should not be here at this time. Who knows which company he is in? This bastard doesn't take a nap, so he will go around disturbing others while they are sleeping. As he spoke, Li Yang called Zhang Chen's office and asked Zhang Chen, "Is the Pole at your place?" Zhang Chen said yes. "Tell him to come over immediately, Sun Ho is here." Sun Ho said from the side, "Ask Mr. Zhang if he has time, and come with us if he has time. I still have something to ask him." Zhang Chen had already heard Sun Ho's words on the phone. Before Li Yang said anything, he said, "Yes, let's come over." Li Yang and Zhang Chen said, "We are waiting for you upstairs." Li Yang took out the key upstairs from the drawer, stood up, and said to Sun Ho Chen Qiang, "Let's go up." The three of them went upstairs and reached the office door. Li Yang opened the door, but Sun Ho was not in a hurry to go in. Instead, he walked to the closed door on the side to look at it, then looked at the opposite door, and asked Li Yang if there was any room between these two rooms. "Not rented out?" Li Yang said there shouldn't be one. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anyone at this point. "I'll call the property management company and ask." "Ask them to send someone up," Sun Ho said. Li Yang made a call. After a while, the real estate agent came up. Sun Ho asked him about the situation of the two offices. The other party told him that the one next to him had not been rented yet, and the one opposite had 4 months left to rent. "It's due, but it can't be opened. The people inside have already left. If you want to rent it, I can contact you. Let them sublet it to you for these 4 months. For the rest, you just need to sign with us." "If I rent both rooms, can I connect them?" Sun Ho asked. "Of course you can. In this case, the half floor on the elevator side, more than 800 square meters, will be yours, so there must be no problem," the other party said. "Okay, just help me implement this matter. I will finalize it in the afternoon," Sun Ho said to the property manager. Of course the property manager was happy. He had never seen such a cheerful tenant before, so he left happily. Chen Qiang asked, "Sun Ho, what are you going to do? Are you going to make a big fuss?" "Hey, isn't it just to make it bigger?" Sun Chenkuo said with a smile. While they were talking, Zhang Chen and Lu Lepol arrived. Sun Chenkuo saw them and told them that they came just in time. We were just chatting about this matter. Sun Chenkuo told them that there is clear news now. In just a few months, and no later than the end of this year at the latest, the higher authorities will issue a document to comprehensively promote the reform of the urban housing system. The general direction is to commercialize housing and develop real estate. With the development of the industry, we will eventually realize the complete abolition of welfare housing allocation. We are taking the first step. Now Hainan Company, not only our bank, but also the higher level banks are watching and expressing their strong support. We held an interim executive meeting last night and decided to expand the scale of Hainan Company. So I rushed here today, just to finalize things here. Gangzi, when you get the business license, the documents will come out. You will be the general manager of the Hainan Company. Our bank will send a vice president in charge of finance to assist you in your work. You will recruit other personnel locally. Sun Chenkuo and Lu Ligan said.